Welcome back. In this video, we are going to see what is inner class, or we call it as nested inner class. The previous sections we have seen a class. It has got data members. It has got member functions. Even the member can be a array. So now we are going to see a class which exists or which contains another class, and this is known as inner class. So a class can be defined inside another class. So such class is known as nested class. Let me repeat. A class is defined inside another class. If it is defined inside another class, that kind of class is known as nested class. And the class contains the nested class is known as enclosing class. So two things you have to be very serious. One is enclosing class, other one is nested class. The class which is defined inside another class is known as nested class, and the class which contains the nested class is known as enclosing class. And the enclosing class, the nested class can be defined, which can be defined in the private sector, private area, or in the public, or even in the protected. If you take a class which has got three different areas, one is public, other one is protected, and third one is public. So you can define this class anywhere. The choice is yours. Okay. So let us see an example. So you can see a class called A, and inside the class we have another class called B. And see, the class A which starts here and ends here. And let me repeat, the class A is known as enclosing class. And inside class A, we have another class. This is what we call the nested class. So let me repeat, class A is your enclosing class and class B is your nested class. And if you look at this, this is defined in the private portion of the class. I've told already, this can be written either private, protected, or public. By default, every member of a class is private. So we have not mentioned explicitly. So this class by default, we can say that this is defined inside the private portion. So let us see how this can be defined in the public portion. There is no difference. So here also you can see the same class. We name it as A, and we just wrote public. So now what happened? The class B, this is this is defined in the public area of class A. And what is class A? Class A is your enclosing class, and class B is your nested class. Okay, so there are two ways. One, we can define this in the private section, private portion, or this can be defined in the public portion. So there is another thing about nested classes. So if you want, you can prototype only prototype you can write in the enclosing class. So if you look at this, so we have class A, and your class A. So this is what your class A. Class A does not have anything other than class B. So we just wrote the prototype. We have not defined the class. What class B does actually, we have not defined inside this. Only prototype. So now you are going to define this outside the class. So where what you should do is you have to name of the enclosing class you have to give. So you are going to give the name of the enclosing class. You can see because class B belongs to an enclosing class called A. So that you have to give. Then you should give the scope resolution operator and class B. So this is what the definition for the definition for the class we call the nested class. So let me repeat. So if you want, you can write only prototype inside the class, and the definition can be written outside the enclosing class. Okay. Now let us see what happened to the object of an enclosing class. Let me make it clear. There are two types. One is enclosing, other one is on inner class. Now let us see two classes where A is your enclosing class. So we starts here and ends here, and we have another class called B, so which starts here and ends here. Okay, so we have got two classes, one is A, other one is B. Now if you look at A, which has got a data member, and obviously 4 bytes will be allocated for this. Look at B. We also have got single data member, which is type integer, so 4 bytes of space will be allocated for this. Now look at the main function where I create an object of class A. So when I create an object of class A, even though class A is an enclosing class, it has got a class called B, which is a nested class. What happened? The size of class A is going to remain in 4 bytes. That means the nested class size will not come into picture when I find the size of enclosing class. So that's why when I print the size of A, so I'll be getting only 4 bytes. Even if I print the object of the class using obj, in this case also I'll be getting the size as 4. So the output is going to be 4 and 4. Why? Because the nested class will not come into the account of enclosing class. Okay, so why? Because or we can say that we have taken only the data member into consideration, only which belongs to the class A. What was there in class B will not come into picture at all. Okay, so the size of objects of an enclosing class is not affected by the presence of nested class. So this is the thing you have to remember. The nested class will not have any impact, which is not going to make any impact in the size of objects of the enclosing class, right? So next let us see the member function of nested class. So you can see the class A here, where it has got a nested class called B, and the nested class B has got a member function where we have written only prototype. Now how we can define this? What is the procedure to define this? So this member function can be defined outside the definition of enclosing class. This is not defined inside this. This is enclosing class where your A starts here and ends here. So even this nested class member function definition can be done outside the enclosing class with this syntax, and the syntax is going to be, you have to give the enclosing class name first, then you have to give the scope resolution operator, then you have to give the nested class name and its function. So let me repeat, member function of a nested class can be defined outside the definition of enclosing class. So this is done by prefixing the function name with name of the enclosing class. So function name with name of the enclosing class followed by the scope resolution operator. So you have to give the scope resolution operator. So it's not mandatory the member function belongs to the nested class should be within the enclosing class. You can define this outside the class. Now we are going to see what we can do with the member of nested class? Can it access member function of enclosing class? So let us see an example for this. So we have a class A and we have class B. Class A we call it as enclosing class, and class B is your nested class. Now class B has got two member functions. One is B test, other one is B test 1. We have taken two member functions. So this is what two member functions. Now think that class A have got a member function A test. Now the thing is, can the member function of class B can access A test? What are the member functions? B test and B test 1 can access A test. So this can be done only through an object. You have to create an object of class A so that we can access this A test, or by a pointer or by a reference. Let me make it clear. The member function of nested class. So if you look at this, we have this is the nested class. It has got two member functions. One is B test, other one is B test 1. These functions, we call it as member function. They can access this member function of enclosing class only through an object or by reference or by pointer. So let us see, we can see that B test. So B test is that is a member of class B. And look at this, how this is going to access. So A test is a member of class A, which is your enclosing class. This is being accessed through the reference because we have taken a reference. Through the reference, this can be accessed. This is the first point. But if you access it directly, which is going to throw an error. Remember it? Let me repeat my point. The member function of nested class, in this case we have btest and btest1. These two member function can access this member function of enclosing class only through reference or pointer or through an object. If it tries to access directly, which is going to throw an error. An error is produced when a direct access is made to a member of enclosing class. So now next let us see how where we can create the objects of nested class. So this is what we have created. We have a class A. So this is enclosing class. This is what nested class. Now this object can be created outside the enclosing class. So it can be defined outside the member function of enclosing class in the same way we create object of a normal class. So we have created object, but we should remember that you have to give the enclosing class name, then you have to give the nested class, then you have to give the object name. So this is a way we this is other way we can create object of nested class. So but remember, this will compile only if class B is defined in the public sector. Where class B is defined or where it is prototype, this is prototype inside the public sector or public area, so that this is valid. In case by default this belongs to the private area of the class A, so which is going to give an error. So let us see the last point about object. So you can see a class, we call it as class A. We have another class called class B. So only public member of an object can be accessed unless enclosing class is friend of the nested class. Okay, so let us see what's the meaning for this. So we have a class A which starts here and ends here. So we have a class B. So, and inside the enclosing class, we have created object of nested class. Look at this. Inside the enclosing class, we have created object for the nested class. So this is the meaning. The object of the nested class can be used in any member of function of the enclosing class without scope resolution operator. That is another point. Without the scope resolution operator, we can use it. So look at this A test. So A test is a member function of class A, and we have used B1 test. Directly through the object, we are going to access this test. We have created another object called B2 for class. So this also can access.